m'interessa molt aprendre anglès.
És molt necessari.
És una llengua internacional.
A mi m'agrada molt viatjar.
Sortir fora a l'estranger.
I llegir.
L'anglès s'ha fet imprescindible.
Personalment, a mi m'omple.
I particularly like teaching seniors because they're great fun.
El teacher sempre ens diu que ell s'ho passa molt bé amb la gent gran.
They've had lots and lots of experiences and they've got great anecdotes. They've always got something to say, so the classes can be really, really good fun.
It's fun, but it's hard. For me, it's very hard.
In the last class, I didn't ask you what you were doing for the summer. You're not going to go to England to see your son?
It's possible in September.
In September. Okay.
The weather is better.
Yeah, it's not so hot.
No.
Very good, very good. And what about you, Lydia?
New York, San Francisco,
Uh-huh.
Los Angeles.
Right.
Sí.
Okay. It's not bad. That's not going to be a bad holiday then. I would say. Okay,
Sí.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're going to talk a little bit about London. Okay. And what I'd like you to do, with your partner, write down. Just with speaking and just write down a few ideas. Anything that London is famous for. Okay? Motivation for learning is not just to pass an exam. They're learning it because they want to learn it.
Jo el vull aprendre perquè fa molts anys que el vull aprendre.
I mean, I've got students, I think, probably from about 50 to 84, and they have an incredibly positive attitude about life.
I will have 100 years and become to learn English.
They've got a very positive attitude towards language learning, which really helps the teacher. You could maybe say, I don't know, for example, you could say cosmopolitan. Okay, yeah, expensive. Okay, just a couple of minutes. Just put your ideas together, just very quickly. Any adjectives to describe London. Okay. You just think about London in 1927. Nobody was in London in 1927, please, no. Okay, nobody was in, no. Okay, London in 1927 and London in 2015, okay? What differences and what similarities you think there might be between London in 1927 and London today? Basically London today in 2015, okay? Could I ask you, just with your partner, maybe to come up with some sentences, maybe some of them could be like comparing. For example, we could say London's more cosmopolitan now. Yeah, London's more cosmopolitan now. The reason we've done that, comparing London in 1927 and London now, is that we're going to watch a film now. As we watch the film, what I'd like you to do is just the things that we talked about here, the similarities and the differences, if they are reflected in the film. Okay? When we watch a film or a television series in the class or outside the class for homework, the students are encountering lots of these authentic language, functional language, colloquial expressions in a real context. It makes it easier for the student to understand in lots of ways.
Quan tu sents la pel·lícula ja saps de què va.
M'ajuda a veure com parlen ells per intentar agafar l'entonació i la vocalització.
But then also to learn about the culture of the language as well. Another beautiful one. If we show a film with very little dialogue or silent, the students understand everything because of the visual, the strong visual features of the film. I think maybe there's more here. Perhaps there's more tourists. No, they seem to be tourists here, but it's very similar, isn't it? Yeah.
I think they're a fantastic prompt for speaking, so very often I use the short films just to put it on. The short films only last 2 or 3 minutes, but from those 2 or 3 minutes, we maybe get 40, 45, 50 minutes of speaking, of communication.
Any similarities, any differences that you noticed? Okay, just a couple of minutes, yeah? Okay?
There is more traffic in this moment than in 1927.
To pass another side with the Millennium Bridge. Before,
yeah.
it is not possible.
It's addressed specifically for worker. And the rich man, they had his jacket, his trousers, it's the same, the different, because Barcelona has changed a lot socially.
Yes.
To learn a language, to learn anything, you've got to make mistakes. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you're not going to communicate, you're not going to progress. Which I find with the seniors, particularly with speaking, they're not frightened of making mistakes.
The adult has lost the sense of the ridicule.
They were used to a more traditional type of teaching, and the methodology that we use here at UAB Idiomes is very communicative methodology, where we give the students lots and lots of chance to put the language which they've studied in class or at home into practice.
Bus.
We don't just encounter the vocabulary once, we come back again and again, and it passes from short-term memory to long-term memory.
Cada paraula que ens pot ser una mica difícil d'entendre, ja ens fa també una explicació.
And it's a form of brain training. It can prevent cognitive loss. Because of the cognitive loss, we do quite a lot of repetition, recycling of vocabulary, and the students seem to like that.
Okay then, so what did you think?
For me, the best is the conversation.
I like all the activities in the class.
Totes les activitats que proposa el professor són molt interessants. Quan parlem per parelles i després les pel·lícules que també veiem.
La classe és 1 hora i mitja i no ens n'adonem i ja són les 2 del migdia. Vull dir que això és fantàstic. Vull dir, és un temps que passa molt ràpid i molt aprofitat.
One of the reasons that they enjoy coming is the social element, that they can mix with other students and they make very strong friendships. Very often they go for a coffee before class or after class, they go for lunch, they go for dinner.
Som un grup molt compacte i ens ho passem molt bé junts.
Som gent molt agradable, som gent molt simpàtica i de seguida te fas amb ells.
They have a great time, they're always laughing, there's a very good atmosphere in class.
Una classe particular és més avorrit.
El grup enriqueix.
Un s'ajuda a l'altre i coses que un no sap, ho sap l'altre.
Surten temes molt concrets i cadascú doncs, aporta el que pensa sobre aquell tema.
Sometimes the older students are quite isolated in society, and then coming to class, it's a way of meeting other students as well. And I think it also opens up culture to them, that they can watch films in English, they can read books in English, so very, very, very often that they talk about that as one of their main motivations.